I've been asked, can Jofa please change your name? Because, oh, feminism, no. People can't hear the word feminism. So I'm confronted with that all throughout. You know, people saying, oh, don't call yourselves feminists. And I can't not call myself a feminist because just the same way I can't not call myself a Jew. And I can't not call myself a Zionist. I mean, if you think feminism, you know, has moments where it has hostile reactions, you could see, imagine if I go around the world saying I'm a Zionist and I'm a feminist, you can imagine how reactions can sometimes be. But for me, feminism is an identity. It's an identity. Jofa is an identity. Orthodox feminist is an identity.
The challenge for Jofa is how they achieve their aims within the context of the UK community structure. And I think that's going to take enormous amount of thinking and talking and listening. But I really hope in 20 years' time there won't be a need for conferences like this, because actually this will be the norm, and Jofa can look back proudly at what they have achieved over that time.
Education, education, education. That was my mantra today. It hasn't changed. I think it's the key to everything, and it doesn't need to be for the schools. It has to start at home. It has to be the values that we give our children at home, and the communities that we're in. The more we talk, the more we say, the more we educate ourselves, that's where change is.
The power of Rabbanim depends very much on women. So women who change the context of the questions being asked, the fact that they are asking questions that never have been asked before, forces poskim to think in new directions, and also women just doing their thing on the ground without worrying about institutional approval also changes the context with which halakha has to work.
No, I'm really glad that I was invited to come and meet the speakers, and particularly to hear Rabbi Sperber speak, just to understand the extent of which we can make change within the Jewish community, and that there are a lot of precedents for the halachic questions that we want answered, that can be answered within the community.
You want to stay orthodox, and that was part of the discussion this morning. Then you have to be able to explain how this is permissible, legitimate, within the parameters of normative halakha. Otherwise it's strange, and it will be misunderstood, and will be rejected and marginalized. That's why I said it's so important that we now have our critics, because it means that we've brought arguments that they have to fight against. And at times these are machlokot l'shem shamayim, which will continue, and sometimes they're political, and the best man will win, or the best woman will win.
People are very comfortable with what they're doing, and they sometimes don't want to think beyond what is comfortable for them, and maybe it's important on a personal level to challenge your own ideas, see if you would be happy in a secular environment if women were treated the same way, and bring that into your spiritual and religious environment, and push forward and push for change, like change in a positive way.
Yes, I think very successful, although the success won't be determined until we see what happens after it in terms of actions that people take out of the conference, going back to their communities, their schools, whatever it is, to do and not just talk.
I think in some ways we're lucky because we're able to look to America and Israel and the strides that the women there have made, and use that as an example for what we can do to inspire the women in our communities.
I think that a lot more people are open to hearing the message that they are trying to convey, which is that we all have a voice, and that voice can be heard within the community and is not contrary to halakha or in conflict with the community, and it can actually enhance everybody's community. And I think that's a really important message, rather than people taking a stereotypical approach to what feminism is, or Judaism, or the relation of feminism within Judaism.
And the Jofa website, for example, there's so many resources and so much information on how women can get involved and make their Judaism relevant to their lives. So hopefully, I know personally, I'm hoping to be able to leave here and discuss with my husband how we can make changes in our home life.